Doma Sports Talk Worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, the big fight of this weekend is going to be Konar Ben versus Eubank Jr. Right? I haven't said much about this particular fight. I'm not too hyped about it because of the weight thing a little bit. Now, me personally, I'm a Chris Eubank Jr. fan because I definitely was a Chris Eubank Sr. fan. For those who, this is not a huge fight anywhere except England, and it's because of their fathers. And their fathers, both of their fathers, were awesome. The Dark Destroyer, Nigel Benn, was awesome, not scared of nothing or nobody. Come forward, fighter, throwing punches, and hard at all times. Chris Eubank Sr. was just a character, fought different, had power, had stamina, had, this will to win, soft-spoken, eloquent, and just had a cockiness about him that was just awesome. Either you're going to love him or loathe him, right? So, those two characters going at each other was real awesome if you lived through it, right? And they were pretty good fighters. And all these fighters, were real good, real good. But what I even like about them is they would all at least say, but we wasn't going to beat no Roy Jones. they were awesome now. Trust me. Super awesome. If you didn't live through it, you're just going to YouTube them and stuff like that. Okay, but do that at least. Seriously good guys, man, in terms of fighters. And but yeah, they would tell you straight up, like, but we wasn't gonna beat up no Roy Jones, But they were still, real good. Trust me, really, really good fighters. And so this is why the fight between their sons is relevant. That's why it's happening. And in England, it's going to be a big thing. We know that Chris Eubank Jr. has missed weight because actually he's a middleweight to super middleweight. And Konar Ben is a welterweight coming up. He's fought a couple of times at 154 pounds. So, I'm going on about this too much in this particular video because that's not what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to watch the fight, but I'm not that hyped. I'm follow Chris Eubank Jr., but Chris Eubank Jr., for me, is similar to Katie Taylor in terms of that means I don't know ish about boxing because I thought Chris Eubank Jr. was going to be a lot better and do better in his career than what he's done. Now, he's done some awesome things. If you want to see him fight Admiral Yildirim, he did better with Admiral Yildirim than Canelo did. He's done some stuff. Matter of fact, who he beat that good guy, the good southpaw from England. Bad dude, had the title. He's had some good wins too, but they always say when he stepped up, then he lost because he lost to George Groves and Billy Joe Saunders. But they was a weight division higher than him too. They didn't lose to him at middleweight. Good fighter, good stamina, but I thought he was going to even excel more than he did in his career, right? But I'm still a fan of Chris Eubank Jr. But this fight here with the weight loss and everything, I can't tell you who's going to win this one, but I'm going for Chris Eubank Jr. because at the end of the day, Konar doped, and I believed he did dope. I just dope people act funny. Just the way it is. You could kind of tell that they dope because of the way they act. But anyway, check this out. We ain't supposed to be talking about that. Look, it was 3 minutes into the video and we ain't talking about what's up. Because maybe what I'm going to talk about, it don't take long. Do y'all know who Agit Kabayel is? We're going up to heavyweights now. You probably don't because nobody wants you to know who it is. That's when that's the true meaning of a boogeyman. No one wants to talk about him because, damn it, we ain't fighting him. And we're going to act like fighting him ain't going to be lucrative. We're going to act like he ain't fought nobody. We're going to act like we ain't see what he does. We ain't going to act like ain't nobody scared of him. But we ain't going to mention him. Now, damn it, Agit Kabayel, I'm going to just mention him because he went from the fighter that, because he's undefeated. I think he's Turkish or Kurdish, I'm not sure, by way of Germany, right? And the dude, was kind of like 2 or 3 years ago, the guy he was undefeated, but he ain't fought nobody, man. He the old Derek Chisora he beat and barely beat. Other than that, so everybody up at the top was like, let me fight Agit Kabayel. He's undefeated, but we knew it was an easy touch, and we thought it was a cherry pick, right? Now, his last 3 fights, I told you, the Man Mountain in Magmadov, The one I told you that only dude look more like Sasquatch than him is Nikolai Valuev. Only one. If you seen both of these dudes not shaved, and you was drunk in the forest of Soviet Union somewhere, right? You thinking you saw Yeti, right? These boys are bad. Big, bad, mean looking. Now, Valuev is a nice guy, but Mabadov, though, I don't know if he nice. Big, hard punching dude, right? Your boy, Agit Kabayel, stopped him. Frank Sanchez, Cuban. The next dude we thought was, the most talented dude out there, really, right? And Cuban, just all I got to really say is Cuban, right? Heavyweight, we think he's going to take over, basically. Stopped him, right? Man, ain't nobody got more the Chinese power, right? Big old, I'm going to come in damn near 300 pounds, southpaw, got rid of Deontay Wilder and stuff like that. Sheila Shane stopped him to the body, which means that body attack probably might even scare off Usyk, quiet as kept. But y'all know how I feel about the living legend Usyk, but we know Usyk's only weakness is the body blows, right? That's it. And we know Kabayel goes to the body now. We've seen him do it to Sheila Shane. Stopped him to the body. Constant body attack. Has the wherewithal to, and not only the wherewithal, but the damn it, I got the chin to go in there and do that against a heavy puncher like this guy. So let me just tell you, that done made him the boogeyman because ain't nobody mentioning him. Have you noticed that? Just nothing. He deserves a championship bout, right? Championship bout. Ain't nobody mentioning him at all. My boy Joseph Parker's supposed to get one too. That's the other guy that's pretty hot. But I'm just talking about Kabayel right now. Hottest thing in the heavyweight division if the name ain't Joseph Parker or Alexander Usyk, and we ain't talking about him. So this is just to give him some props and to let y'all know this is the real boogeyman. He's getting the Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz treatment. Like, awesome, but everybody gonna act like they don't see it. Ain't nobody talking to him. Nah, that's why I'm a Deontay Wilder fan. Because I'm telling you, when Deontay Wilder fought Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz as a voluntary at 212 pounds, no one else would have done that. Period. Can hate on him or love him or windmill, skinny legs, whatever you calling him. Wasn't nobody else going to fight Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz as a voluntary fight at the time because he was the boogeyman and his reasons why. Also, Cuban. Now, that's what's going on with Agit Kabayel. So here's the deal. Holler at him. He deserves a fight. Watch. Crickets. Bigger than ish. Anyway, y'all, Doma Sports Talk. Worldwide, somebody holler at Agit. And I'm up out of here, y'all.